All right, this is Deanna Marie, and welcome back here to the Clue Seat. And today we're going to be talking about how it's always darkest right before your breakthrough. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so today's Bible reference is going to be Revelation chapter 20 to verse 5. So open up those Bibles, get in the Word, and let God speak to you how He wants to speak to you. Pray, open up the lines of communication. Okay, that being said, you guys have been praying, and right before you get your prayers answered, right before God shows up, and when He shows up and He shows out normally. Right before that happens, sometimes it looks like all hell is breaking loose. It looks like nothing's working out. It looks like you made the wrong decision. Like, oh my gosh, what is this? Remember, the disciples, like before Jesus comes back and He, reveals Himself in all His glory, what happened first? He was crucified, right? The disciples, everybody had to watch that, and it looked like the most horrible thing, and they didn't understand it because it was designed to look like that. The enemy thinks that they're winning. The enemy thinks that he's winning, but he's not omnipresent. He doesn't know everything that God knows. He has not even half of the knowledge of God, but He wants you to think that He does. He needs you to think that He is God and that He's determining things, but He's not. So at the very last moment, right before your breakthrough, you're going to see all kinds of chaos in your life. It's going to look like the darkest time normally, but you're so close to your breakthrough. If you just hang on, if you just keep going, the enemy doesn't win. See, normally the enemy doesn't know exactly what God's going to do. He has an idea. He has a little bit of an inkling as to what he thinks God's doing in your life, but he doesn't know exactly how, when, or where. But he can sense, just like you can sense, oh, things are starting to work out. Oh, things are going good, right? That being said, he's going to try to get you distracted and get you off the path. If he can have you take yourself off the path, he knows that God probably is not going to, put you back on, or it's going to delay. And that's all he wants you to do, is to stop doing what you're doing. Why? Because you're serving the Most High. You're furthering His kingdom. You're furthering God's kingdom. And He does not need anybody helping God out at all. He's trying to further His kingdom. His kingdom's about darkness and destroying lives and doing mean, evil, nasty things. Look at what He did to Jesus on the cross. He got God face to face, and He didn't say, I'm sorry. He didn't say I shouldn't have tried to take over heaven. He didn't say none of that. You saw what He did to Him. So why would you think that He's trying to do anything different for your life? You should never entertain nonsense. Do not be Eve standing next to the tree listening to nonsense from Him, right? So that being said, just like Jesus was walking to the cross and He had to do all of that stuff right before He comes back and reveals who He really is, sometimes that's what it looks like in your life. Do not let the enemy keep you from your blessing. Because remember, Satan asked Jesus in the temptation, he said, hey, you don't have to go through the cross. You can come over here. I'll give you everything that you want. Then you don't have to go through the bad stuff. But if you want to go through the bad stuff, that's your choice. But I'm giving you an option out. I can give you the whole world. I can give you whatever you want. Just don't do what God's telling you to do. Wasn't that the temptation in the desert when Jesus was out there for 40 days not eating? That's what He suggested, right? Don't do it God's way. Do it my way. My way is easier. It's quicker. It doesn't have a lot of pain. But in the end, you have to submit to the enemy. You have to bow down to him. That's what he wants. He wants you to worship him. Why? Because that's what he's been wanting this whole time. That's all this evil and all this nonsense is about. I don't want to worship God. I want him to worship me. I'm more beautiful. I'm this. I don't feel like I have to submit myself to you, so I want you to submit to me. That's the whole attitude of it. And that's the whole name of the game. That's all he's trying to do. Don't do it. Don't do it. You keep listening to God, because the cross, yes, was the most horrible thing. But that most horrible thing, remember Joseph? The pit led to the palace. That horrible thing that Jesus had to go through led to everybody being saved from their sins. Okay? So don't take the easy route and don't give the enemy a leg up on his kingdom, because that would have helped Satan's kingdom. If he would have said, I don't want to go through that. That's going to be really painful. That sucks. I don't want to do it. I'd rather do it. Let me do it your way. It's easier. He would have got the whole world, but he wouldn't have gotten everything that God, the glory and everything like that. And he would have had to bow down to evil in order to get it. Don't do it. If your life looks like a hot mess right now, you might be really, really close to your breakthrough. Don't give up. Don't let the enemy trick you out of your blessing. Don't let him take anything away from you, because that's all he's trying to do. He does not want you working with good. He needs you to work with evil. If you're working with good, then you're against him. If you're working with evil, then he can use you as much as he can, and then he's going to throw you away when he's done. That's it. That's all it is. Just like Judas. He used Judas, and then I didn't see him anywhere near Judas when Judas was hanging himself because of what he did to Jesus. So you think about that. Hang in there. God is right there. Okay? So anyways, like, share, subscribe, and comment as always, and I'll see you guys back here next time.